Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about another designer tip, which is all about organization. If you haven't followed me on Instagram at Habitat Interiors Co, then you probably haven't seen my story about some organization tips. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram if you're not already to get these tips in advance. Here I plan on going a little bit more in depth about my Tuesday tips, and I would love to have you on both of my platforms. Today, I want to talk broadly about organization. We see these different shows like The Home Edit and how they organize closets to kitchens and everything in between, just to make your life more organized and an easier way to live. So I am an organization freak in some senses of my life and others not so much. I definitely need to take some of this advice and be more organized. Let's talk about how we can accomplish that. So with the more minimalistic lifestyle that has kind of been circulating for the past few years, I think that organization and decluttering has been a huge topic. How do we do that to best serve ourselves? I know that a lot of people believe that having less is more, and I definitely like having less things because I feel like it kind of brings cleanliness to the space, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you do. So how do we figure out how to organize and how to declutter things more personally to ourselves? My belief is that you have to kind of figure that out for yourself. Do you like a lot of these things because of they're sentimental? Do you like these things because they help you in your day-to-day life? And you kind of have to establish a value to those things. So if it's sentimental, then maybe that's really valuable to you, maybe it's not. For me, there's certain sentimental things that I hold on to and others that I think people would say they should be sentimental, but to me they're not really that sentimental. They don't hold a lot of value. So for me personally, I really prioritize things that are sentimental by the memory that's attached to them, not necessarily the dollar amount, which I know for some people might be completely different. So once you've kind of established like why you value something, then I think it's kind of easier to figure out how to declutter and what to declutter. If you realize that you're keeping a bunch of these knickknacks for a reason that really doesn't resonate with you very well, then it's probably going to mean that you should probably part ways with it. If you have something that adds value to your life, then maybe that's something that you should probably be keeping. You might not use something very often, but it still might be something you really want to keep because it adds value to you. So you kind of have to toggle back and forth between what's the value in this for me, and is it worth keeping? Is it worth cluttering up this space? Is it worth storing it in a box for most of the year? Even if I don't use something very often, does that mean that it can still hold value? And absolutely it can. But that's gonna differ from person to person, and everyone's gonna have a different comfortability level with keeping things and discarding things. Once you've kind of figured out a beginning point of how you're going to place value on your items, then you can kind of start figuring out and going through things of how to tackle your space. Before tackling your space, I would definitely encourage you to think of different ways to keep or discard things. So if you're going to keep things, great, you just need to figure out a place where you want to keep it. Maybe it's the same place, maybe it's in a different, more organized way, maybe it's completely separating out somewhere else. And if you're going to be discarding it, kind of deciding if you're going to want to completely discard it, maybe you want to give it away, maybe you want to donate it, maybe you want to offer it to friends and family if it's something that may be sentimental to them. Figure out a plan of action of what you're gonna actually do with these items once you've decided that they're not really serving you any longer and you don't want them in your life. Go ahead and tackle the space that you're wanting to work on. this could be many different places. Like I mentioned, it could be your closet, it could be your kitchen, it could be your bathroom. Under the sink area, we all know that can be kind of a scary place, or at least for me it is. Maybe your desk, it could be a bunch of different things. I suggest tackling one area at a time. You might overwhelm yourself if you try and do your whole house. I think definitely designating an area is a good way to start. My first suggestion is to take everything and remove it. So if that's underneath your bathroom sink, if that's your closet, take it and put it on the floor, put it on your bed, put it on your countertop. Remove it from the physical space that it's currently in. Once you've done that, definitely clean out that space that you've been working with. If it's in your bathroom, there might be toothpaste stuck to the bottom of your drawer. If it's in your pantry, maybe there's some dust that's kind of just collected. Whatever the area is, I would highly suggest cleaning it, because you probably won't be doing this on a super often basis, and it probably doesn't get cleaned quite as often as it should. So this is a great time to do so. If you're gonna be tackling a space like your kitchen or your bathroom, you're probably going to have some items that are expired or aren't going to be great if you continue using them. In your bathroom, if you go through your makeup stuff, you can probably definitely find things that are expired, that are broken, that don't work well anymore. Maybe you have a random shampoo bottle that's been empty for a while. And same thing in your kitchen with like expired food. My suggestion is to tackle those things that are very cut and dry, like I need to get rid of this because it's bad for my health if I keep it. Those should probably be first priority. Definitely gather those things first and get them out, because that's just going to prime your space for more things to kind of get rid of and kind of inspire you and see your space less decluttered, or more decluttered. Yeah. Once everything is removed and you can see your clean slate of a space, how much room it has to offer, then it's kind of easier to envision how great it's going to be when it's properly organized. Now go through your items and assess them, whether you want to keep them, whether you want to give them away, donate them, or just completely throw them out. I know a lot of people suggest like if you haven't touched it in a year, then it's probably time to like throw it out. And I'm not that ambitious, because I can think of a scenario of when to use something even if I haven't been using it. Kind of see what you have repeats of. So for me, I know I have a bunch of like Hollister or Bath & Body or different lotions that I've kept around for years, thinking that I would use them, but I haven't. So instead of keeping 10 of them, let's say, I have no idea how many I have, but instead of keeping all 10 of those, narrow it down to like your favorite 2. What's a realistic amount of what you're going to actually use? Because by the time I get around to that 10th bottle of lotion, it's probably going to be expired. I probably won't like the scent anymore, and there's no reason for me to keep that. For me, discard things that I think I have excess of. I know that I don't really use hair products that often. I will very rarely put something in my hair that's not shampoo or conditioner, and so why I have like styling creams and different heat protectants and stuff, like I don't really use those things. Getting honest with yourself about what your lifestyle is like and how you use products is going to be a huge help for you. Now that you've put in a lot of the hard work on figuring out what items you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of, now it's time to put everything back, but don't go ahead and put them back into this beautiful clean space that you have in the same way that you did before. This is where intentionality comes in on how you're going to keep this space organized. Buckets or dividers, drawer dividers, something to store things in is going to be super helpful, and it's going to make your space seem cleaner than it is. I think kind of having designated areas for something in your mind instead of just seeing like a bunch of stuff scattered everywhere kind of tells your mind that this is clean, this is organized, and it helps you process the information. So whether that's going to the Container Store, whether that's going to the Dollar Tree, or I'm gonna leave some links down below that can help you out if you are needing some suggestions on what kind of dividers might work. Pro tip, make sure that you measure the space that you're going to be putting these things into. Your drawer size might not be the universal drawer size, and drawer dividers won't always fit perfectly into a space. Now strategically place all of your items in different containers and in different areas to help assist your life flow the easiest. What's gonna help you be organized in the long run? For me, that's either pairing things that are alike by each other so I know quickly how to find them. So when I'm getting ready, I don't have to go searching for that one thing that should be there because that makes sense, but really it's somewhere else. Try and figure out a simple solution. So something that's going to help your life flow, where you're going to place the utensils in your kitchen where it makes sense when you're grabbing something to eat. Do something where it's going to help the flow of your lifestyle. So place like things together so they're easy to find. Okay, so now you're done decluttering. Congratulations. Hopefully it feels like a little weight has lifted off of your shoulder and you can continue being organized for the long run. Now that everything is back into not its original place, but a place that you feel really good about and it looks beautiful, I would highly suggest to take a picture, whether that's just like a mental picture or a physical picture. Physical picture might help you be more accountable, but whatever you prefer, and kind of just soaking in like, okay, this is what this currently looks like. I really like it. This makes me feel good. And also I just put a shitload of time into this and I don't want to do this next month and I really want to keep this up. Having that reminder is going to really help you, I think, stay committed to being organized and to attracting things that you really need and want and use into your life. Those are my general organization tips. Let me know down below if there's a certain area of your house that you feel like you really need to tackle or you are scared to tackle. Again, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, then I will link that down below along with different resources to help you guys stay organized. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.